What a wonderful time to be green. Here we have the Orks 11th edition Armageddon box set, just the Ork half because we WAAAGH out here. So I'm going to show the models off. We're going to go over the website showing that. I got some screen snaps of the live reveal when they were showing models side by side. So we should get a reference for the bases, a little bit of information about rules so we can kind of build off that as well. A lot of awesome revelations actually coming forward that makes the Orks very, very exciting and very much got the beakies on edge. So with that being said, lads, let's get stuck in. So if you're a new or an aspiring war boss and you welcome to the edition, this is fantastic. So we're going to go over these. I'm sure some of you guys have seen them, so bear with me if you have. And of course, give your commentary because this is live and we see all the gits that are here that are saying what's up. So of course, be sure to share it because I know I forgot to. All right, so here we have the Ork Warboss again being revealed to us. We do know this is a push fit box set, absolutely 100%. Most of the time people are assuming that, but that's good just for us to have the reference. Good thoughts and questions have come forward. Where's the power claw? Will it be included because it's a push fit? When we seen the revelation of the box, the individual one, shout out to Red Ones Go Fasta, his little box, right? That looked like an individual selling kit. Does that mean that one had multi pieces? I was trying to look at the actual sprues that they were showing. So maybe there's a sprue on there and someone can tell me if they seen that. So I was looking, for that and that as well. So I might have missed it. Maybe Reddit knows. Reddit out there peeping everything in the world. But that being said, as for how he looks and the rules behind it, one, we know that the custom shooters, blasters, rocket combi blasters are coming back. That could be the Warboss be having one. He himself is actually looking quite jacked. Now, does he still have the smaller arms like most people thought? Some would say yes, but what we can say is that their torsos are much wider, right? The Orks are looking thick, bulky. Makes more sense that they can tank a bolter to the body now, right? Because they're so compact, which actually makes a lot of sense if you're talking about the ratio of their strength. So I actually kind of like it. Yeah, there is a lot of comedic aesthetic to the Ork now too. So we're gonna see that when we look over the Boyz and the Grots. It's actually a really nice comparison. I think GW understands us quite well right now. Like looking at these models and going after the modern lore books, it seems like they actually found a perfect identity for the Orks between intimidating, rough, aggressive, and everything wild in kind of a brutal, natural way, and then still kind of silly, cartoonish, comedic, which is a perfect place to be because that's how you build a scene around them, an environment, a story around them as an enemy, and then also someone that the good guys, the people that are supposed to be on the side of the good side, can also favor. So these models really reflect that, and the Warboss did too. Now his base, he's going to be huge. It looks like he's going to be on a 50. All the Ork bases that we assumed went up did. So like we'll see the knobs really went up. I actually have the side-by-side screenshot that we can go to. So let me see if I pull that one up real quick. I should have already done that. We're gonna look at these models too in the slide, but so that's a boy on his left, and then on his right is the new knob that will be in the boy kit. And then we also know that there's a big boss that's gonna come forward that we can show off. I think that's all the pictures, right? Oh no, that's also the Warboss there. But this is the side by side. So that's a 32, then he goes up to 40. So that means he's probably gonna be on a 50, right? So let's move over back to the website. I'm gonna alternate between these guys because it gives us more insight. Now here, that chopper looks wicked. I love that. All right, and it's not as big and ugly and brutalish as some people might want it to be yet. Remember, he's got all the teeth, right? A proper war boss got all the loot, so he can have a more technologically advanced chopper, right? Could be even maybe like power axed in that sense, right? Where it gets a little charged sometimes. You hear in the book, like Wartrakk with his hammer. Funny enough, that's like a little gas canister on his back. It's like, I guess that's proper equipment for a war boss. Maybe that's what charges his custom shooter if it's a flamer. I mean, a scorcher, right? If there's a look, kind of has a scorcher look to it, so it could be a combi shooter / scorcher. Big horns on him, fantastic, and the jaw prosthetic makes him look still with that. He doesn't have the gorilla butt, right? Like we all know about the Ork booty that they've had since forever, but He still has them compact short legs, like which is lore also accurate, but he doesn't look as bootylicious, right? Then we have the big old banner. I'm super excited that the banners are coming back. I missed that time in 40K, like I guess the earlier editions when banners were everywhere. And so a lot of the models I got sometimes had like leftover banners, broken banners. I would see people with old collections that had really cool banners. And GW went back to the banners. So we're going to be looking at a lot of banners today, and I'm actually really pumped about it. Then we move to the big bow. So this is the new addition to the Ork line. Super exciting. Now, people said this was from prior editions. I didn't play back then. I played it since 8th, and they did not have this guy. But you can consider him kind of like an Ork lieutenant, one step down on the hierarchy. In reality, he's there to supersede the war boss if he was ever to die or to challenge him when he gets bigger. And that's an proper lore accurate title. Make perfect sense for this to be introduced. It's not out of nowhere, like you could arguably say about beast snaggers, right? So what's also awesome about these guys is how they're starting to incorporate more little squigs on all the Ork models that we're going to be looking at today. Now, we do know some of his rules. He's going to be giving sustain. The war boss is still going to give him +1 to hit. And then he's also going to have a cleaving, which is a new ability on the data sheet for the weapon, which would mean that kind of like having blast when he gets into a fight. So if he's fighting guardsmen, he'll get like attacks, and he has built-in sustain. And we still assume he's 2 damage. The current big choppas that nobody uses are 2 damage. The chat's saying that the war boss is going to have 6 attacks, strength 8, -2, 2 damage. I don't know if they've seen that from a data. I've seen people were zooming in on the reveal on some of those. So if I get pictures in those on Discord, I'll try to show them. So let me know and at me. But if not, we know already that they are at least -1 AP, usually around 7 strength and 2 damage. We already know that baseline for the big choppas. So if they get an improvement, awesome. If they don't, we already know what that is kind of. This is definitely more like a powered two-handed axe too, with you can see the cords going through them and how GW intentionally painted it this way, which is they're trying to give you that vibe that it's a more advanced two-handed weapon, which I'm glad they're trying to give us an incentive to use them. Now, not as much of a tactical rock, but a tactical broken piece of beaky armor back there. Again, banners, but they didn't like, but they got a boss pole, but it has the horns up here. I like that it's different. Though I love the banners, it's cool that they still have stuff coming out the back, like a banner, like a pole. But in this case, he's like, well, I can't necessarily wear the horns like the war boss, but I'll put them on my back, like in preparation and still announcement of my might. So we do know that he can be added. The boys are going to like 2 characters to a unit. So he can take the spot instead of a war boss all the time of being attached to your Ork mobs, which is super exciting for 2 reasons. One, it gives GW real incentive, and 2, 1, have a supercharged war boss in the Ork army, like I've said earlier in other videos, where I think if they're going to limit how many war bosses you have, or your warlord keyword ability actually matters and it goes on a war boss, that you can limit how many war bosses are on the field by making him really awesome and stand out in his rules, killy, whatever you want to say, important to the army. And then that gives a very clear spot for like duplication of big bosses in your army. So with your knobs, with your boys, then the big bosses out there, that makes much more sense, and it's more immersive for the army, and it fits the culture and the lore and how it's actually broken up in the chain of command in the Orks. So I'm really excited about that. I get off on that kind of stuff personally, and so maybe he ends up around the current war boss points, like 75. And then the war boss shoots up and he becomes more of like a Gravis captain and how he plays or his everything like that. Now he has a little baby squigs on him. You're going to see a lot more. He looks like a little dinosaur. Another thing I'm excited about for Orks is the diversity within our genetic makeup or mutations. They're not really limiting. They're still keeping a general majority look to everybody, yet you'll see slight, variations of squigs or grots or orcs that look kind of funny. You're like, oh, dude, who stepped on you when you were still like coming out you're training from a mushroom, right? Like the boy was coming out and the other dude stepped on him and now he has a sideways looking head. That's kind of how guys are looking nowadays. Like the squig down here, it looks like a little dinosaur. Another thing, last thing I want to say is the big fang tooth teeth on him, right? I think that the overdone part of the 2 big fangs coming out of his lower jaw, I really like that, right? He's supposed to have really big teeth because he's into a big war boss. And Then we move on to the Knob with War Banner, back from the Legends edition. As in, he was put in the Legends line. He doesn't have his cools or rule set anymore. All right, he doesn't have the wall. Sorry about it. You don't get that right now. But he does give us an appeal. He gives a full-time 5-up invul. Awesome. And then on the wall, he gives +1 toughness. But what I'm really excited about is just having a giant banner on the field. Man, that gives me pumped up. They did a good job leading up the pole. They have the patches, the little squares for you. Maybe you could, hopefully they have more diversity, but you could put your clan directly on there. You could put something else on there yourself if you're really good and creative on there for the bottom part and make a lot of room for that on the model. So it's not crammed like the other one where close to his body and kind of silly, and his arm was not extended. In this one, it's loud, it's proud. He's pushing. It's like an active motion of pushing forward momentum without needing an overly silly tactical rock or like comical way to put him. He's just straight up, let's go. And I like that. Mean, he's still looking like a mean boy. The choppa looks pretty cool. That's more of a traditional choppa that we're used to. And his portions look excellent for just like he's just the typical knob kind of boy thing. We're so excited that now we can shoot our shooters and our actual choppas retain in our data sheets. So now the Orks having all of these ballistic kind of weaponry and belt lines and grenades and stuff like that makes way more sense. And I'm not being too armored because now you're like, oh, they just take up all of their body space for more Dakka, right? It's like now when we start looking at these Ork models, you're going to see a lot more bullets, a lot more grenades, secondary choppas, secondary stabbers. That's what we want because that's what Orks are more focused on. They're more focused on the offensive part. They'll just tank it. They'll just tank the damage on their toughness, literally, is how it's a battle. And now it's not just for aesthetics. Now it's like that's what exactly how the Orks are playing as well. That's getting me pumped whenever I look at these. Banner poles, sick. We're going to see what other differences we can put on it. And I guess what I mean by that is like the decals. I've seen some of the decals, so we'll see about that. But I like them. And then last, the little squig again. You just look out for all the squigs we're going to be looking at today. Can I zoom in on him more? Doesn't look like I can. Let me see. Ooh, click the wrong screen. Let me see. Oh, doesn't look like it. I think I lost this. I lost it, guys. It didn't like me. What the heck did I just click? Let's see. All right, let's go over here because I made you guys stop looking. Oh, there we go. I had just click the search bar. Whoop, there we go. So I couldn't see him, but he has a little baby squig at the bottom of his base. We'll come back to it. Don't worry. I have other pictures. There's the back side of him. Like I said, he actually has the shooting on his back. It's not there for just dumb reasons. It can actually be used, which is good because he's press fit. He's going to be looking that way anyways. And then they talk about the transfers right here. So you can add transfers, your own glyphs, stuff like that. We move on to the Painboy. What a glow up on the Painboy. Excellent job by GW here again. He was kind of silly before. In this way, this is where I mean that GW is finding the right spot of grim, grim dark, brutal, animalistic, borderline evil, yet just kind of evil, like brutal by nature. And that's what the Painboy is really pulling off here. He doesn't have really anything comedic about him. Not even his Grot assistant has anything comedic about him, right? The Grot orderly looks really, really, really prepared with that giant bone saw. I love that the bone saw is bigger than him by far. Bigger than by far. Makes so much sense that he's just walking around with the orc and he's just like, let's go. All right. Yep. You need me to chop off someone's arm? There we go. Covered up, goggles up, which is how they be looking too. I think there's another picture of him. This is arguably the coolest model in the kit. You can let me know. Actually, I could just put up a poll now that we're here. So I'm going to put up a poll. Oh, did they already have a poll up? Yep. Most models are excited for that. So I was going to put up. All right. I can see you guys are excited already. So it looks like the poll's up. Make sure you guys interact with the poll. And I'll react to the chat. Don't worry. Because you guys are popping off too. We're moving through these as well. Now he has his snipping fingers. That's pretty sick. And then he's holding like a syringe type weapon, which brings me to the question of, is he going to be less punchy? Is he keeping the same rules somehow? I mean, he right now currently has a straight up power claw, which is something that's really missing from the entire box set. Now that I said the word power claw, we didn't see any of those power claws throughout the entire box set and the models and such like that. So We'll see if they're just non-existent in this box set starting, if we get more reveals on that. But when they drop the individual kits, there likely will be power claws all in them. So they have, and they're saying Erdy Syringe is staying, which makes sense, right? But I'm thinking about the power claw. So Erdy Syringe, it's right there. I can see it, right? Dirty Syringe. Try to put some mortal wounds on people. So arguably one of the best like glow up models that we have. You see this pack is loaded to his back, and then he's also has some of his own juices through that tube going into him. So fantastic. He still retains the 5-up, feel no pain here on him. And yeah, you're right though. Someone's saying in chat they got bigger bases. It looks like he got a bigger base as well. He was on a 32, so now he's like on a 40. Or so was he on a 32? I think so. Maybe not, but he got to glow up. Then we move to the Weirdboy, which I have some comparison pictures of the Weirdboy next to normal boy, so we can see how massive he is. Like we're talking about models getting bigger. This git is massive. So we've seen him already in the trailer video. He's gonna still keep his jump ability for picking his model unit up and moving around, but I see him having way more offensive potential, at least with his psychic powers. And we'll see if GW even brings back psychic phase in general or more abilities kind of in that. I know that's been one of the biggest demands from the whole community as a whole. So I also think GW did a great job with the paint scheme to get us excited for him. It's pointing out all the interesting parts where he has this electricity coming off him, all of these different cables that are meant to help project his actually psychic powers. And then they did a great job with the banner. I mean, the actual staff itself. Now, double-handed undergrips is kind of odd. I will say that, but what it does is makes it really feel like he's holding on to something to ground himself as he charges up his blast. So as much as it could be like alternating, well, everything else is alternating. So him being this way kind of makes it seem like he's going to really prepare to blow up the people that are in front of him, like we've seen in the trailer, which is what I'm hoping for with the rules and reality, because just having to jump again isn't exactly the most exciting. But he has a massive base. So let me show him next to some boys. This is how he looks next to some boys, right? So looking like a 50 mil base right there as well, which is saying a lot, because if they just up all of our leaders base sizes but don't make their actual offensive potential or support that much more interesting, it's going to be odd, right? So I do think that they're going to tweak these data sheets and maybe give them guys. I mean, the current Weirdboy has 3. A Painboy only has 3 wounds. Current Painboy only has 3 wounds, which I just showed you. You know, this guy doesn't look like he's going to have only 3 wounds. So in the Weirdboy, I think also he only has like 4 wounds if I check. So I maybe got to go. Maybe it's 5. But these guys look like they're going to need a real offensive data sheet buff and durability buff for them to like match the aesthetic and how massive they are. And that's a basic orc boy that he's next to. So I'm sure you guys can see now that he's really, really big. So him having the jump ability and him being that big is like, all right, dude, well, you better do something once you get there, which is what I'm hoping for. And that's what he's saying. He said he's going to do his brutal ranged attack. He still gets to jump. And he gets to hit beakies with his staff. So he better be crumping some beakies. Now we get to one of my favorite part, the boys, which is for me to say, considering I already have like 100 and like 6. Because now if I incorporate my shooter boys, I'm at like 160, right? Because the shooter boys are painted also, but I never had a reason to use them. But these boys actually look awesome and worth getting nonetheless. And we do see some variety in here in these boys as well, and the comedic part that I was trying to tell you about. So don't sleep on the boys. I feel like most people slept on the boys because, of course, we're just going through rules. Yeah, so that makes sense. So we're getting 20 in the box, and of course, you get the shooter and the slugger. The knob has the combi shooter. I mean, sorry, a combi rock or a combi shooter. That's why I was saying the Warboss is likely going to be having something like that too as well. But there's more guys in these on screen. So right here we're looking at the new knob of also getting a bigger base. So now he's moving to a 40 mil base. So you're going to have to up your knob bases currently as they are. I love the shooter with the belt like that, which is cool to know that there's a variety in that case. So like I said, there is some variety within the kit. You're not just getting, you know, the push fit the same thing over and over again. It looks like, at least by the description, he is starting his pole, right? Little pole, right? But it's a pole. He's getting his pole going. Of course, I'd like to see banner up on there on this guy, but we're going to look through more varieties of these boys Now, one by one, check out our gets, because you're gonna see as they change from intimidating to kind of comedic. This one has that little, awesome metal hat on him with the Bashuda, but he still has his choppa, so that's cool. Easy to integrate your old models that you have. Guys with goggle on his head, like I said, they carry all the grenades you're gonna start seeing on them, because now they can actually use all these weapons. But then we move on to the next guy, and we're seeing some goofy gets up on this screen, dude. So we have this guy on the left that looks like he's about to shoot his own head off with that shooter. That he's literally turning it sideways towards his own head while he's presenting his chopper. So he's very orcish as well in the comedic sense. That happens in the lore as well when you're reading the books, that they get distracted. And really they just shoot because they know that they'll put your head down and then you go crump you when you get there. Another goofy looking get on the side that I actually like is this dude with the little hat thing, the hat squig under his little cap. Now there was other orc models that had that, and it was actually meant to be more of like Mongolian Hun type of aesthetic on the orc to make them more intimidating in that way, because I have some orc models that still had that. This definitely looks like he intended to be more goofy, right? He's like covering his eyes a little bit. He looks like a little teenage like skater boy type hat. So that's hilarious with the shooters on there. But then the two gets in the middle, right? Guy in the bottom, he has additional stabber in his teeth. He has 2 stabbers on his back. He has his shooter, and then he's getting ready to throw a grenade. So that's what I mean. It's like, okay, some of them look really brutal. They look really, understanding of that they're trying to get involved in a fight. They brought all the proper equipment. Very brutalish and cunning. And then you get the goofy, I just spawned, I don't even know how to use a shooter type boys as well. And I think that's really telling on orcs as well. So here we have this guy at the bottom again, looking kind of silly with that, but still his eyes kind of peeking so he can still shoot you. Bayonet on there, and then little baby squigs jumping off the orcs. So I like that the baby squigs made their way even onto the orcs. So we know the boss knob gets them because he has that one on his shoulder. But we'll see even some of the other boys have one like this get right here on the bottom. So maybe he can be like your aspiring little boy that he becomes a knob, right? Beast boss knob. I see you guys in chat. Chat's going off here too. I'm gonna start popping and reading off chat here. So yeah, GW did a great job with these boys. Moving on to once again. This is another shot from another angle of his shooter. So Cumby shooter, you can see he has double barrels on there and all these belt fed weapons. That's fantastic. Boyz looking awesome is too. I'm actually quite excited for these guys. And then there's that little squid coming out of that beaky's helmet in the middle on his base. So there's different ways that you're gonna have little beakies on you. The actual boss knob has a stabber now in his belt line. You can see that he has another blade, which is cool that orcs have backup weapons. Like you always hear about that. And less about the armor, more about how much stuff can I actually put on myself. Another little baby squig jumping off this orc's leg, getting ready to a fight. Dude with the stick bomb, in his belt with the revolver pistol and the chopper, and then he probably has a shooter on his back too. Underslung shooter, pistol, grenade, extra stabber, extra magazines. I'm really into all that on the aesthetics. They did awesome on that. Right here, just look at it on his back. Loaded on their backs, a lot of extra weapons, not really worried about any armor in this case. This guy with the combi rocket, baby squig hanging off his shoulder. So I felt like the boys were slept on, but they look great. Of course, we move on to the grots. Like I said, the grots have that. I got stepped on look when I was coming out the mushroom spore cloud. So we have little goblin-y looking one on the right that we've seen that were revealed. Yeah, we have ones that have actual type big rifles that I would consider a large rifle for a grot. So this is an actual awesome looking little grot when you get your fights. This guy in the bottom with the pointed helmet reminds us of what we used to have, but still upgraded, as well as the guy right here down the middle. We do know that there's still going to be 10-man units, as in how many grots we get, but then the runt herder seems like he's going to be separated from them. So you get 10 of the grots, but it doesn't mention anything about the runt herder. And then right here it says each Gretchin has a choice to build 2 options so you can customize your scavengers. So they're doing a great job of making some diversity that would give you incentive to have these grots, and then have duplicates of these grots, so it's not always the same push fit. And then even these grots within themselves look different, right? Some have the real more goblin-y kind of nasty look to them. Some have a little bit of a more tough look to them. I like their clothes. They really remind me more of like a cultist-esque kind of like personalities to them all, with the helmets and the faces, more conniving and evil than scared or goofy or cartoonish. So I'm into that though. They still are going to function, serve their role. They're looking really skinny and small, and I'm really into that. I think GW did a great job with them. We moved to something that I think most people were kind of randomly looking to allude to, and we seen coming, or we heard about coming, but everybody's focused on everything else. Is the Wartrakk, something we didn't see in the trailer, maybe didn't notice. We do know that this has his rocket launcher on it. It's D3 plus 3 rocket shots. It's going to be strength 10 now, -2, 3 damage. So it seems like the strength rocket weapons are all going up. +1 strength is something we've noticed as well. And when GW was talking about this, the guys doing the reveal, they were talking about how it's like a support gun roll to maybe a speed wall. And what I think this is going to end up kind of working as a role would be similar to like an Invader ATV if there's a Space Marine army. So if you don't know what that is, they have like little four-wheeler buggy type truck with them, and it can attach to their bikers, the Outrider bikers, and then it has like additional buffs. Who cares about that? But the point is that that's how it operates in the game. And I have a feeling that that might be something this would do, just because he mentioned it's in your speed wall, and then you're like, well, would I bring one of these? Well, would I not bring one of these compared to a like a buggy? So there's a little bit of overlap there between our buggies and this guy. They did have a comparison. I don't think I attached that one, sorry, but they had a comparison to the old one. This guy's bigger, but not drastically bigger. I think if you just add bigger banner model stuff, it kind of bulk your old track up and put them on the proper base. You could play with the old one too. So I'm interested if this will actually have any play. So it's like fast, light armored, rockets, and it's mobile firepower. But the thing is, like, we know we're end up hitting on 6s. It does have to do with the chop on the back. So of course, like, it could punch you with the dude, but it would have to be like cheaper than a buggy, able to attach to a biker unit, but actually give you incentive on why I would, I guess. So I'm wondering how this really plays. But aside from that, like, not trying to be poo-pooing it, I just think it's sick, right? I love any kind of mobile follow support on the Orks. I feel like when you're getting into the fight, everybody's charging forward. You should have some of these and like little trash units that can run around and not just simply fall over to small arms fire. The more you add those and little vehicle type things, Orks are all into it. You know, it might actually give us a reason to, let's say they come out with new trucks. Not saying they will. I don't know nothing about that, but let's say they come out with new trucks. Well, maybe it gives you a reason to convert your trucks to these gits, right? So I'm actually cool with them being in the box, and it's nice to see something out from the Legends that gets us exciting for the potential of the future. So all those Legend videos we do, and like random hope and inspiration videos we do that people think are a waste of time, mean that they're always a chance, because because we're seeing Legend models come back from the banner to the track, and I think that should just get us exciting about the potentials, because this is just the beginning of the edition. Who's to say GW won't release more stuff that's in Legends and continue to pile on that kind of good news? So, you know, let's just keep it going, because this, according to the poll, I have a poll going out right now for the live gets. Oh, okay, you guys better get involved, because I see some of you gets aren't participating. Oh, no, you might be working or something. Don't worry, I'm just messing with you. But thank you for those who are. Yet it is clear we have the question that was posed is, which model are you most excited for? So we have the Painboy coming in at 6%, followed by the Wartrakk at 22%, which is respectable actually. The Banner Knob at 24%, and then we have Mek Dakka Rig at a whopping 48% to the vote. So it's very clear that our gits are most excited about that. And it is good reason. Now we do have some rules on that, and we actually have a little bit of aesthetics on how actually big he is, other than what he looks like. So I'll just actually do the side-by-side video picture real quick, because you can see how big he is. So here we have a Killican, a Def Dread, and then our new big boss, or Big Mek. What the heck was it called? Yeah, Big Mek Dakka Rig. So he's really not that small, right? If some people were saying that maybe he's smaller than a Def Dread, you know, maybe the same size as the Def Dread. No, he's bigger than a Def Dread. We finally have something as a walker in between a Morkanaut and a Def Dread. Even though they took away our Mek Dread, which, hey, might come back, huh? Might come back. That's really encouraging. We do know he's going to have an invuln, at least at range, most likely. He has 2 forms of offensive shooting that we know of, and maybe more, supposedly more if he's shooting into infantry. So he has a Gatling gun type of weapon on top. He has rockets on him, and then he has a custom force field, and then some other small arms on him. So I think he might end up being a character, most likely. Maybe he won't. Maybe I'm wrong. But it could be he's a character, and then maybe we bring back invuln auras, where it used to be that if you were in the range of a custom force field, like within 9 inches, holy is what it used to be, then you would get a 5-up invuln at range. So maybe it's something like that, or some variation of that, or it's just for him. I really don't know, but really GW has been looking to actually expand the rules and make them a little bit more interesting in that way. So I'm excited for it. And like I said, he is actually a good size in between. I want more models in that in between size, or at least for the Death Dread to get bigger. And here's another side shot of all his actually Dakka. Good, cool engine parts on the back. He doesn't look that tough. He has a bunch of like gas canisters right here. So maybe that's for fuel, or maybe he has some kind of scorcher on him as well. But for when he got, close to distance with him or something, because he doesn't have any like clear offensive melee potential at all. Right. And then even in the trailer, that's how he got destroyed. So we'll see what he can do if you get close to him. But right now it looks like nothing, and he's not very armored. So that would, what is that role going to be really? That's why I'm wondering if it's like an aura invuln, but then that would make him even higher priority. So target. So I do wonder. That being said, I think he'll still be at least T8, maybe T9. Actually no. I think he'll be T10 because he's bigger than a Death Dread. And I'm just hoping he's T10, to be honest. But GW might make him T9 just because I said that. So let's just hope for T10 at least. Otherwise, he might be a little too squishy, even with that invuln. But I'm still excited about him. He's really aesthetically awesome looking. It's just something we haven't ever seen before, and it's not a platform they actually have, and he still incorporated the banner. So they knocked it out of the park with this. We've been wanting a gunline unit, something that was not, just simply a transport, not a walker that pretended to shoot and didn't actually want to do that, actually wanted to get into fights. Before we had mech guns, but they're kind of really, really slow and they're not durable. So this is something that we just didn't actually have before at all. So GW incorporated big bosses, the new Wartrakk, and then this guy in here. So these are completely new actual units. Oh, and they're saying these T9 in chat. Well, then at me in the Discord right now, if you're there out there, somebody at me the new screenshots of the data sheet so I can go over them. Because I guess people are just finding them because Reddit is a powerful force. So yeah, he has his Blitzer cannon, and he has a bunch of rockets. So he's shootier than Death Dread, absolutely. And that's it for that guy. And we have the side by side pictures. Here, so let's see chat. If you guys right now, in the meantime, I'm gonna go over the chats because we have a bunch of them. And I also think we might be able to look at the cards because people look like they're looking at data cards. So if you guys have them, Discord, let me know, at me, save me, something like that, if you're able to show me the new data cards. Otherwise, let me just go through some of these members chats and these gifted. And just so you guys know, yes, tomorrow I'm doing the bat rep game, so we're gonna get those done. And after this stream, I might do a member stream, either hobbying or just talking or painting, or maybe I should just work out another bat rep. So we'll see. But thank you for the memberships, that all the guys that are supporting. 5 wall tactic memberships. Whoa! So thank you to all the new gets. We see a lot of new boys spawning around here in the chat. Yeah, talking about T6 boys, all the bits that are going to come from this. There's a lot to say about it. Thank you, Mad the Bad Dog, for always being generous. I hope you're excited. I know you're a little relatively newer to the Great Wall, so there's a lot going on here for you guys to be excited about, as well as Suicide Gambit for 5 wall tactic memberships. Whoa, dang. Okay, guys, look like I might be able to get a box finally right now in the channel. Well, yeah, that's, obviously when I get the one for the channel, I will be showing that as well. I ordered WAAAGH Dakka. So thank you very much. Very generous of you guys, and it's helping out. And of course, it gives me super motivation for these bat reps, because that's how I kind of want to finish the edition. So the next edition, I can be doing those more regularly for sure. So another 10 wall tactic gifted memberships by Other Pat. With new get around here, looking like a big boss just spawned out of nowhere and gifted 10 wall tactic memberships. So thank you very much. This cool picture you got there. And yeah, I didn't see what you said yet in the chat, but nice to see you and welcome, and thank you for that very generous membership, because it looks like we're spawning a bunch of new boys. So I got a new membership after this. Oh, what's up, Boris? With the became a member finally. Whoa, yeah, you're back, my kid. There you've been. Nice to see you, and welcome back to the Great Wall. You're back at the perfect time, you boy spawning back. We got Ricky Bounds, becoming a member as well. So thank you very much for that. It means a lot, and it's very generous to you guys, and it definitely keeps me motivated to keep doing the work of the wall, and of course, getting this extra content going. So yeah, it looks like some people are talking about the. Okay, it looks like we found some of the data sheets as well. So I guess I'm gonna have to find a way to get those out over to here, you guys, without showing everybody off. All right, all right. So we have. I'm gonna finish these members chaps at least so I don't lose my gets. He said, Ed, gifting members still enabled. It looks like I'm able to gift. People are able and gifting them right now. I think it's based off time zone, and you have to check. I'm a time zone location. You check your settings sometime. So I don't know why it does that, and I've heard that before. But thank you very much, and nice to see you again. Thank you very much, you generous git, and at least we got you back in the gray wall. That's all that we need. And we got Rick B with 10 gifted WAAAGH Tactic memberships. Whoa, nice to see you, Rick B, with the big old membership given right there. So thank you very much. Looks like I'm gonna have to give back and start showing you guys some of these data sheets. At least on the big Mek Dakka rig, which is going to be very blurry because it was in motion. But like I said, some gets online were able to do it. So let's see if I can actually get this exposed for us to get on screen, at least momentarily. It's not a lot, guys, but it's what we got right now. So thank you very much, Rick B, and all the guys that have been gifting, because that means a lot. Because trust me, I'm gonna be doing a lot of hours tomorrow playing the game for the gets, and it'll be great. It'll be exciting. I'm gonna proxy WAAAGH Dakka though, because I think it's time to proxy WAAAGH Dakka. I didn't get mine, but I'm proxying him for these bad reps. So here we have big Mek Dakka Rig. So this is why people are saying right there that's really blurry, but it comes out to T9. So he moves 8, T9, 3 up save, 5 up invuln, 11 wounds, leadership 9. I mean, leadership 9. What the hell? He's a grot. No, he leadership 7. Sorry about that. I misspoke. And then 3 OC. We can't really see the weapons that well, but it looks like he only has 2 from up here, unless there's some kind of additional shots. Can't really see his data sheet line in that case, and it doesn't look like he has much of a melee profile. So he might not be a character based off that. I don't see anything that's indicating that he's a character, which would be pretty sick, actually. I would love if he's not a character. That would be fantastic. And he's just like a little vehicle. But he did not reach the threshold of T9, but he does have that 3-up armor save. And he's 11 wounds. All right, that's respectable. You have him and like a little kill rig on the side and stuff coming up the field. You know, you have that Blitz Brigade detachment coming up the field. You never know. It's like, oop, I got to shoot. Oh, I shoot this guy. Do I not? Very exciting. I want to see what the points are, but I know regardless. I mean, how many of you guys are just getting this because of the aesthetics, right? He just looks fantastic. How can we not want this? Thank you very much, by the way, to the Discord, to my boy Tiger Melts, because he hooked us up with that. He added me like I asked so that I could actually pull that out for you guys. So thank you very much. That's why we do this live. Because you guys are interactive with this. So Rewatch Gang can enjoy it. So Rewatch Gang, leave a like, because this is a live activity with the wall. So yeah, thank you very much. If you guys got more little blurries, show me and I'll show the blur off. And then we have a super chat with 20 euro. Whoa, yes, 20 euro means I can't do math. I can get a Weirdboy now. Oh, no. He says, wow, thanks for the content. Can't wait to get the Weirdboy and Mad Walker proper. Okay, absolutely. Okay, I think I have 4 Weirdboys. I have the resin ones. I have a converted one from AOS, and I'm so getting another Weirdboy no matter what. He is so crazy looking. He puts the other Weirdboys in a whole nother realm. They're just way back there as like a different thing, because he comes off as a powerhouse. He comes off as a generator of the wall. He comes out as an actual force on the battlefield that intimidates your enemy. He looks like he would just completely dunk on and headbang out a librarian, right? It looks like it would take at least a librarian and Terminator armor or like an epic character to go toe to toe with him on the battlefield. So I'm totally with the Weirdboy right now, even though he has like a weird like Dr. Octavius look to him. It's whatever. I'm just more pumped about him than anything. As for the Mad Walker, I'm a Dread Mob player. You guys know that. I've been playing a lot of Dread Mob, and you know, you guys know that I'm absolutely love any type of walkers. I'm always pushing walkers. I'm glad GW is able to give us some Dakka, able to give us offensive like melee reasons for our war bosses to be killy and lieutenants, and they did such a great job between the aesthetics, the immersiveness of the battlefield, and what's going to be the roles of them. I'm actually pretty pumped. This did it for me, right? If there was any like doubt, whatever that we've been seeing online everywhere and ourselves, and it left, I think GW got rid of that doubt for me. Because the goofiness that I showed you also between showing off the models, the attention to detail, the inclusion of the rules, the new data sheets, you know, the all that stuff is making it make a lot of sense, and the rules that they're throwing in them. Now, they're not like super dynamic rules, you can say, but we have a lot left to see, and we know the addition's going to be really combat oriented, at least so far. And if it's not, we got some Dakka support now, right? So whichever way you look at it, because some people are like, well, now I have no reason to use Dakka because we're going to be shooting, and then other people are like, well, they're going to just ignore the rules anyways, and this turn into that anyways. Regardless, we're in a good case now, so who cares, right? Just get stuck in. Whoa, right? Who cares about all that? That's why you got to never worry about those kind of things. So thank you very much. I just want to super rant. I didn't even mean to like that, but thank you. That was very generous of you. And we got James Hutchison becoming a YouTube member. Nice to see you get. Oh, look at that stash. That's what's up. Well, thank you and welcome, sir, and all the other new orc boys and war bosses we've seen out here that I haven't seen before. So it's very exciting, and I think we're all, maybe it's the earlier time that I put it on, or maybe it's just that we're all excited. And he also said, you are my first YouTube membership, sir. Been the rewatch gang for a minute. Well, it's time that you got promoted to a knob. Whoa! No, thank you very much to that. You get that means a lot, and that's very generous. Good job on the fish, by the way. But thank you. That really does mean a lot, because I know what it is as a person who consumes content. You know, it's not easy to just be like, oh, I don't know with this person. There's a lot of stuff out there. That means a lot. So thank you, and thanks for being a part of Rewatch Gang, because I love Rewatch Gang. So yeah, and of course, all these new guys here means I got to put that bat rep out very soon. And I'll just tell you now, one of those matchups that I might get stunted on, we'll see, because I'm using freebooters. We'll see, right? I'm gonna, I got my WAAAGH Dakka on deck. Well, this is his base. You know, I is the new Land Raider detachment with all that weird shenanigans. So we'll see how I do with that with the Orks. And I think the other one's either going to be like another Space Marine variation or a demon. I'm not really sure what the other player's bringing. But yeah, I'm trying to get them up so I can get those bat reps going. That's more for, even though it's the end of the edition, it's because I want to get more reps in so I get better at these, right? Yeah, so that's what's up. I think we're doing a great job right now in the chat, though, and I think you guys let me know right now why all these new members. You guys want a stream after this, members only stream, or we get hobbying, or what? I could build a battle wagon, or we can do whatever. I'm pretty excited as a whole, and or I could just go back to make the bat rep that I was editing, one or the other. So yeah, and let's see, look at other chats, because there was a lot of chats while we were and stuff. Anyways, he said the new box set's looking looked awesome. I'm so pumped for the rent of 11th. Exactly what I was saying. Has in store for the other orc releases. That's true. We still have other stuff that can be released. We still have knobs. They showed that we're going to get possibly mega knobs. The mega knobs look like they're going to bring their banners back. They're going to look possibly cooler and bigger. I don't think we've seen the new mega knobs yet, but they're being rumored to come out. It looks like they're going to be like knobs in the kill teams that can still come out. We haven't even heard about Ludas. There's still rumors about bikers, burner boys. There's so much stuff, or trucks. There's so much stuff that can still come out. So one, if you guys haven't been hobbying, you need to start hobbying like right now. Like, I'm making the bat reps right now so that you can watch them with your gifted membership, and then you can hobby at the same time. All right. So this is a symbiotic relationship. This is what we're doing here, because you guys got to get stuck in and get those done. Looks like the Boyz data sheet a little bit got revealed too. Let's see if I can point that out. And also look more at the chats. Like we were saying, people were saying 6 attacks, strength 8 -2. We'll see if it's -2. I don't think I've seen that anywhere yet. Leaders, and then he said with the Dakka boys and the knobs, so you can lead the knobs and the Dakka boys. I think I did hear about that though. Let's see if I can pull. Oh, I think it's being funky. All right. So I think I got the boys right here. Is it the bad dog? Man, bad dog super chatted, and then he hooked us up with some images. So let's see if I can share this. All right, bad dog. Let's see what you got. Oh, we had the boys on screen. So here we go. Still moving 6. Good. Don't want to move. Hey, there's another part where we move 5 inches. All right, so there's a difference. T5, save. They also have a 5 up armor save. We got 1 wound to pop, and then the boss knob has 2 wounds. Awesome. Leadership 7, and then 2 OC. Good all there. It looks like you have the combi rocket 24, 1, hitting on 5s, strength 10, -2, 3 damage. Okay, so they brought up flash strength 10 is way better. So I'm very much excited about that going, even though we're probably hitting on 6s. You know what? We're kind of hitting on 6s anyways. At least we got all our stuff. I don't see assault, right? So I'm wondering what's going on. Are we going to have some kind of more access to assault than we have now? Of course, we have the detachment from Dakka, but that's not impressing anybody. So I think that we definitely need to see if we get some kind of assault back in here. What is also interesting is the custom shooter is range 18. It has 4 attacks, is what it looks like to me. Right? You guys want to zoom in? That looks like a 4, right? That's safe to say. Hitting on 5s, 4, 0, 1. That's all good, but it's rapid fire too. So if we can get these up to 6 shot a piece on all the boys for some reason, some weirdo like Mark Perry actually gets his hands on that, you weirdo, that's gonna be working out, right? Mark Perry or Doc could get. So I'm pretty pumped about that. And then you still get stuck in and do your fights. So that's an awesome reveal. Thank you very much for that, bad dog. And it says, and it looks like at the end of our command phase, we still get to sticky the objectives and we still have the WAAAGH. So it says faction abilities as WAAAGH. So those look like the same also based off what the bad dog showed us as well. What's up, bad dog? I know you somewhere in the chat and you hooking up the WAAAGH. See, so that's a little ugly, but it's just to get the good bits at the end of your command phase, right? So that's cool. And then faction abilities are still WAAAGH. Here are the pictures again if you didn't see them. There is so much good stuff that we could talk about. It's almost like hopefully I didn't miss anything that we were excited to see. So yeah, what else was chat saying too? Yeah, so much goodness. I agreed. The models are looking crazy. That big boss Warboss going on a 50, big boss on a 40. So he looks like he's worth 40. So we'll see if he actually fights like he is, which is what we really want, right? That's what I'm actually cool with all this. Cool with everybody going on bases as long as their profiles actually match it and orcs aren't like the equivalent toughness, like and difficulty to kill as like a little guard or Eldar character, right? I need our boys to be tougher than those kids to be taken down in a fight. So let's see. Let's see. Oh, if we can have 2 knobs in 20, that's a good question, right? I wonder if because some armies like World Eaters, Berserkers, right? They can have multiple of what would be considered power claws in their like multi-man units, 10, 20-man units. So I would very much like if maybe we got that, but 2 bosses might be like counterintuitive, not actually what happens with orcs, right? Grenade pin in the mouth. Yeah, right. We okay. I'm glad someone noticed that. Is the pin showing in his teeth? The orcs. That's sick. There's a potato leak of the boss knob range gun. I gotta see that. What's up, Aiden boys? Whoa, nice to see you. Yeah, we got them 18. We're gonna have like 6 shots per dude if they ever get a shot off. So that's gonna be sick. What's up to you guys in the chat? I see all you guys. Oh yeah, no run herders. That's a good point. I did say that already though, right? Yeah. So no run herders yet, but they might end up being leaders. I think that's what we're gonna end up getting to. Let's see what is going on here. Okay, he's 6 inches tall for plunging fire. Let me look. Was he? Did he? I mean, how tall is my def dread? My def dread's probably like 4 inches tall. He might reach that threshold. Are we counting from his banner? Because his little top of his banner goes a little taller, right? He goes a little higher with that little fist syringe. So maybe he is. Somebody will check that out. We got to measure our. I don't have a tape. Oh, actually, I do. I could roll away and roll over to my def dread right now and measure it. Does he even have the banner still on him? He's not T8. No, he's not leading. Oh, will he lead cans? I didn't see anything that said leader from that little potato cam we've seen. He looks like he's just by himself. But if he could lead cans, that'd be sick. Yeah, he's faster than cans moving 8. Yeah. So let's see if I missed anything else right now with you guys. looks like we hit most of the thing. And yeah, I think we're getting most of that done. I think we're going to leave it around here and wrap up soon here. So last comments and you guys' thoughts real quick before we move on so that Rewatch Gang can hit this and everything. But yeah, the banners are what's really sick. Let me go. Actually, I'm going to you sit right here for 1 second. Okay, Rewatch Gang, don't go away. I'm going to grab that Death Tread. Let's see. Technology. All right, so here's my Death Tread that I broke off the banner. And then here's the one with his little banner on there. All right, so let's see. I'm going to measure him. Looks like, yeah, I was right. Looks like his banner is exactly 4 inches. All right. I can't really show you guys that well because it would be dumb on screen. Just trust me, it's roughly 4 inches. All right, 4 1/4 for being exact. So does that look like he's at least 2 inches bigger? Let's see. No, I don't think so. It looks like he's not 6 inches. He might be right under the 6-inch mark, but that's a good question. Because if he looks like maybe he might be. We'll see. Well, if you count the very tip of his top of his banner, he might end up barely reaching that 6-inch height, right? At that very top where that fist is, maybe. But I don't think so. I don't think he will. But good question. The box is full of leaders for us. Also love the fact that all the knobs and bosses look and feel bigger. Absolutely. They actually look distinguishable. They look like they should be distinguished from everybody else. They have little squigs on them. They have different weapons. Their weapons actually have data sheet profiles that actually matter and are important for them. And that's what we actually want to see. We had lost a lot of Zaz and 40K, a lot of our finesse, a lot of that immersion, and some of it's back, right? So it's like, we're here to just be excited about it, guys. And that's actually why GW starting the edition so hot with us and focused on us, because you get them orc players and that WAAAGH energy going. That's going to ride out the start off the edition, plus the Space Marines, and then our controversy we're going to get in our fights. Armageddon, we're going to crump them. We're going to beat up the Blood Angels. We're going to crump the Blood Angels. We're going to crump the Crimson Fist. We're going to come through Ultramarines. We're going to crump the Black Temple. All you gets are getting smoked, right? The Imperial Fist, my Imperial Fist I got on the shelf, you getting crumped, right? Everybody's getting crumped. So that's just my attitude right now. So make sure you paint your stuff up. Because last thing I want to be is like people send me pictures like, look at all the stuff I got, and then it's everything's still gray like 6 months into the edition. I'll be like, where are you? Knock your teeth out. So yeah, we do have a bunch of characters, which is great. Gives us an incentive to beat them, and for me to actually get that box set. So I'm pretty excited. What if the big boss is our version of a captain? What's his name is a Gaz is a supreme leader, a captain. Even a Gravis captain still considered a captain. So I feel like a Warboss to be a captain, he's going to be a lieutenant. And that's just me. I'm like 99% sure he's lieutenant. Sentinels are 100% kill rigs. I feel like there's too little. No, is a Sentinel bigger than a Death Tread? Maybe the new ones. I'm just not aware of it. Is it if he's bigger than a Death Tread? Because Sentinels look little. I mean, you can build off of them. So yeah, you're right. The walkers and then the guns and then build some more extra stuff. So you're right. You could build off them. You're right. I'm just saying you need to make him bigger. Did anyone catch though? He said knobs can lead Big Painboy and Warboss. That I think the 2 characters I think you meant that like you can have 2 characters with your knobs now, and that they can lead with like a big boss or a Painboy and stuff like that. Yeah, I think so. I think I heard that unless I was tripping. Yeah, that, and there's a difference. Now there's support characters. Like there's characters that designated just support roles classes. So the Painboy is for sure going to be that. But whoa, for all the new gets. And I got my WAAAGH Dakka done. Oh yeah, let me see actually I think you showed me. I actually want to show off your WAAAGH Dakka now if I actually can find him. I maybe didn't post him in the members chat, so I won't be able to find him. I know you put it somewhere in the community chat, but that gets lost in the sauce you get. No, I don't think I have your picture. Dang, unfortunate. Send it to me later. Show later. Yeah. So some people are already getting their WAAAGH Dakka. I'm excited. I'm proxying them tomorrow though. All right. Well, it looks like we hit a little near that hour mark. Let's see what else you guys got. You guys are keeping me going here, though. Big Boss giving sustain. We needed we needed a middle leader with the bully boys. Finally got that much better. And does he still have the Warboss keyword to do double walls or something? I'm interested in that. Ooh, another good one. More importantly, finally 2 leaders on Beast Boys. If Pain Boss is a support leader, so you're saying you can put that because you can put 2 leaders on each unit, it means that now because the Pain Boss will be in a different designated role, that it still applies to the Snaggas. So then Beast Snaggas can get a Beast Boss and a Pain Boss. Yes, I do wonder what's going to happen there with like the points and everything. But you're right, absolutely, and they can get rewatched, like written. So I think that's pretty exciting. I love that, and that's a good call out by you. So great job. Get real question is how many half boxes are y'all getting? Buying 100%, splitting with my friend, aka gets all the Marines, I get all the Orks. That's a great rule. If you go to like a game store, sometimes you can try to set that up with other people in like a group, from a Facebook group or whatever, like your shop Discord, your shop Facebook group. You should definitely look out to that and ask random people anyways. It's a good way to help other new guys that are getting stuck in. You might make a friend. That being said, I think so far I'm one. I definitely want more. Maybe I'll get the other pieces. Channel funds. You guys are growing the channel right now as we speak. But I think I'll just get one. And then because also I have a lot of boys already and a lot of grats. So really it's the characters for me. And yeah, so I think I'm going to get just one right now, personally. Not that you asked me, but for everybody else, I can definitely see more character. Or if I was an orc player like edition ago or two, I would have got probably at least 2 of the orc halves, and would even consider 3 just because it sets you up with everything you need already, which is awesome. So I think I'm really excited for the orc raid community and everybody that's there. Keep crumping and paying you gets. Have a good night. Absolutely. Always worth to ask your local. I just clicked everybody. Ask your local store. Exactly. Someone needs it. Blitz Brigade, Bully Boys, Hopes and Dreams. Yeah, dude. I think all our detachments too. Oh, Orks are looking so good. Hopefully the competitive players do not ruin our faction. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I just like to make jokes about that. So with that being said, you guys let me know if I missed anything, if I didn't cover anything. That was my rendition of the Orc box set and half of it. I know you guys already seen a lot of this before, so thanks for being with me. Leave a like or subscribe or just share it or leave a thumbs down, whatever. Let me know what you guys think, because there's always one thing to keep in mind is don't cross our wall, because we'll knock your teeth out. Whoa.